What's up, YouTube? Back for another video. My name is Gabriel Beck, and I want to thank you for your time and attention today. Let's get into it. Today I want to talk about your daily routine. Falling in love with the journey rather than falling in love with the supposed destination that you have in mind. I think it's great to focus on what we want in the future. I think that's very key for affirmating and attracting success into one's life through the law of attraction. But I feel like very many of us, including myself at times in my life, get distracted by focusing too much on the destination and what it should be, what it should look like, rather than focusing in on the micro structures of our lives. You know, the daily routines that we have, the daily rituals, the habits that we instill into our lives. Everything that you do day in and day out is going to shape you as a human being. They're going to shape your character and who you end up becoming 10 years down the line. You know, whatever you decide to do today is going to affect you 20 years down in the future. So many of us are focusing on what the future is supposed to look like instead of looking at the present moment and what it actually looks like in its raw form right now, and what they can do to start changing that minor step at a time, right? So you look at your health, you look at your wealth, you look at your love, and you look at the things that you do that makes you happy for pure fun, nothing for money, right? And you got to look at what priorities are important to you to put into your lifestyle every single day, and make sure that you fall in love with those routines. If you want to work on your health, but you're not a gym goer, you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't feel like lifting weights with everyone watching you all around, then if you go get a gym membership, then odds are you're probably going to go for the first couple weeks, and then you're going to drop out and have another bill, another liability on your account sheet, and then you're not going to get the health results that you wanted because you're discouraged from going to the gym because you may not be a gym goer. Instead of that, you know, you may be more of a sport player. You may like basketball more. You may like running more with headphones in. You may like, you know, doing martial arts or something like that. So you got to look at your personality and what seems to be fun to you. And then you fit that into the category of either health, wealth, love, or happiness, so that you can fit it around your lifestyle and start creating a permanent lifestyle for yourself. Something that you can work on every day to build on that skill. You know, for this example being health. You know, instead of going to the gym like everybody else, let's say you like basketball. Let's say you watch basketball games all the time. Well, go buy basketball from Walmart or maybe even the thrift store for $5 to $20, and then go play basketball every morning. Boom, you got your health right there. Look at wealth. You know, so many people are looking for jobs that pay the most money. Why? Because they're too focused on the destination instead of the journey. Instead of focusing on making the biggest, fattest paycheck so that you can be oh so rich in the future, why don't you focus on finding a job that makes you happy, that gets you smiling, surrounding yourself with coworkers that you enjoy, so that when you're at work and you're building that income, that you're actually enjoying the time that you're spending there, so you don't feel discouraged and quit your job, or you don't get mad and get fired, you know, or you're not just straight miserable when you're at work all day. You got to make sure that you're doing stuff that you enjoy, because if you're not doing stuff that you enjoy, if you're just doing those things to get to the, you know, the ends to the means, you're just doing that so that you can get to the destination that you have in your mind, but you're not enjoying the actual process of doing it, then you're actually backtracking, because you're putting things in your mind that are now negative. You know, it may not be negative for another person that enjoys what you're doing. Like, for example, a call center. If you're working at a call center just because you want to make more money, but you don't enjoy talking to people on the phone all day long, then I think you're backtracking. You know, maybe for someone else that wants an office job, wants to sit there and make phone calls all day, and they're good at that and they enjoy doing that, then that's good for them. But if you're doing that just because you make an extra $200 here as opposed to working over here where you'd be much happier, but you're making $200 less a week, then I think you should take the one that you're making less money, but you're actually more happy. You know why? Because when you're there and you're happy, you're actually attracting more abundance into your life. You know, money responds to people who feel good about it. If you don't feel good about the work that you're doing, then, you know, every time that money comes into the conversation, your thoughts are going to be purely negative, because you have a negative connotation to making money now, because the way that you make your money makes you miserable. So you got to find stuff that makes you happy in the process of doing it. Hence my example with going to the gym. You know, that can be not so fun to a lot of people, as opposed to doing a sport, something that's fun. It may not seem like you're getting the same results as the gym, but you'd be surprised. You know, if you have more fun doing basketball, I say you're going to get more results doing the basketball. You're going to get in better shape. Why? Because you're going to have more fun, so you're going to spend more time out there doing that thing. Same with the example with the wealth. If you're doing this job over here, man, when it's time to go, it's 5 o'clock, it's time to go, and you hate your job, you're going to clock out 2 minutes earlier. You know, you're dying to get out of there. But if you're working a job that you love, what are you going to do? You're going to spend more time at that job, more than you need to. You may not even be getting paid for all the extra hours that you're doing. You're going to get really good at what you're doing, and then you're going to get advanced, and you're going to get promoted, and you're going to end up making more money over here anyway, even though it seems like you're not at the very beginning. You know, love too, a lot of people look at relationships and stuff like that, they look at it on the surface, they go, you know, I gotta have the prettiest girl in the world, I gotta have the most in shape, successful guy in the world. But they're just trying to fit puzzle pieces into their lives so that they can compete with the people on Instagram that they think are so cool. They're not looking at the personalities. Do you enjoy being around that person? Do you, even down to friend groups, people surround themselves with friends because they feel like, oh, this person has something I want. You know, let me surround myself with them because, you know, they have something that I want. But you got to ask yourself this: are you enjoying the time that you're spending with that person? Does that person make you feel content with your life? Does that person feed goodness into your self-esteem? Do they support you? You know, you got to focus on the feeling, the emotion, rather than the analyticalness of it. Because you could have a friend that makes $100,000 a year, but if he's a dickhead to you, then don't hang out with that person because it's bad for you. You know, it may not fit in with your personality. Maybe you need to hang out with someone that's going to support you and going to have empathetic conversations with you and actually care about who you are. You know, and happiness, you know, most people aren't doing anything for their happiness. We get so caught up in these routines that we don't even realize aren't even our own choices because of the other three that I just mentioned: health, wealth, and love. You know, we surround ourselves with the wrong people. So what do? They give us the wrong health habits to cling on to. Most of us don't even work on our health every day. They give us, you know, most of us find our jobs through our friends. We don't even pick our jobs. We just end up kind of fitting in by accident. And then 5 years, 10 years, 20 years go by, and you realize you've been doing something that you absolutely hate for 2 decades. You don't want that. You got to look at your life and go, am I enjoying every single day that I'm here on earth? Because any day could be your last. You know, anything could happen. Every moment that you're living is, don't take it for granted, because literally anything could happen. So you want to make sure that you are at your contentedness. You got to make sure you're at your happiest all the time, because when you're at your happiest, you're going to attract more into your life anyway. When you're feeling happy up here, you're going to feel more energy. So what? Your health is going to get better because you're moving around more. You're going to make more money because you're going to be more motivated to go out there and put more energy into making money. You're going to have better people surrounding you because why? You're feeling better, so you're going to attract that into your life. So you got to really ask yourself, what am I doing every day from when you get up to when you go to bed? You know, I say this in the last video, I'm pretty sure I said this, it's good to schedule out your hours. Take out a sheet of paper and, you know, go, okay, I wake up at 7 a.m., I go to bed at 11:30 p.m. From 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., what am I doing? From 8 p.m. to 9, from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., what am I doing? From 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., what am I doing? And so on and so forth. And then you can start to look at those brackets and go, you know, oh, I enjoy doing that. Okay. Oh, I don't enjoy doing that. How can I take that out and trade it for something over here? Okay, I'm going to do that. Oh, I don't like this altogether. Well, I like doing this, and I can actually put more hours into this, so why don't I just make this segment a little bit bigger? And you can start structuring your life like that. Tai Lopez just talked about this in a recent video that he released. He had a book recommendation on it. I can't remember on the moment, but I'll put it in the description for you guys maybe. When humans are faced with so many different choices, we have 100,000 different choices given to us every single day, our brain goes into overload mode. We don't know what the hell to pick. So we're looking at all these different options, and what ends up happening is we don't pick anything because we get so caught up in looking at the options and the different possibilities and what could happen wrong, what could happen right over here, what's gonna, and then you don't make any decision. So it's good to simplify your life and go, okay, you know, I could do option A or option B. Pick option A or option B, you know, whatever you pick, and stick with it. And then you do that thing every day. You build it into your lifestyle routine. And you get used to doing these habits every single day. And once you get these habits down packed, it becomes subconscious. You just do it every single day. And then once you get that down, then more room will fill up, because now you're used to the lifestyle that you built for yourself. It's almost predictable. You know what your day is generally going to look like when you wake up in the morning. Then you can start fitting in more and more and more things, and becoming essentially more productive. I feel like the top 1%ers in the world understand this, how to use their time effectively. It's all about time management. Everything's about management. How are you managing yourself? Managing Oneself by Peter F. Drucker. It's a really short business book. Ty Lopez's #1 recommended book on his website. You can check it out. It's like $12 on Amazon. Completely worth it. It talks about what I'm saying right now is basically you got to understand yourself, self-awareness. What do you need to instill in your life that'll make you happier, that'll give you more energy, and that will help you get to where you want to go, which is the destination. And I'll end with this. As much as you think that you know what your destination is right now, you probably don't. And that's not me telling you that you don't know what you want. That's just me saying humans don't know what they want until they know what they can have. We didn't know that we wanted to go to the moon until we knew that we could go to the moon. We didn't know that we wanted electric cars until we knew that we could have electric cars. Elon Musk actually said that. I stole that from him. Humans don't know what they want until they know what's possible for them to have. So when you get into the lifestyle benefit of disciplining yourself to do those same things day in and day out, and you make sure that those small things that you're putting into your lifestyle are things that make you happy, are things that you're content with, and you get used to doing those things, then you start being able to look at the bigger picture and realize what's out there for you, what is possible to add into the mix, and what's not possible, because you only have so many hours in the day. So you got to make sure that you're choosing your hours and what you're doing with your hours very wisely, because if you don't, then time catches up with you quick, and 5-10 years down the line you're looking back and going, holy shit, man, I thought by the time I was 35 I'd be here, and I'm still stuck back where I thought I would be when I was 25. And that happens through little minute seconds at a time, where we lose track of time and we think that we got all the time in the world so we can go do this and we can go do that. It doesn't really matter. We don't have to plan out our days. We don't have to know exactly what we're doing tomorrow. That's boring. I don't want to schedule out my time. Well, I'll tell you this much. It's not so boring to schedule out your time when you start seeing the results that it gives you. When you start living with a purpose, you start living on purpose. When you wake up every morning and you already pretty much know what the general vibe of the day is, you have more control. You have more assuredness in how you speak to people and how you walk and how you talk and just how you look at people, because you know who you are and you know what you're going to do that day. You know what's important to you. And it really helps with developing confidence and communication skills and stuff like that. So I'm going to wrap it up right there. Focus on your lifestyle, what you want to build into your day-to-day routines. Instead of focusing on the big picture, I want you guys to chunk it down and look at your day-to-day habits. What things are you doing every single day? Okay? What things are benefiting you and what things are dragging you down? Literally, get rid of this side and double down on this. Make this twice as important as it was, the things that were working. If you're playing basketball and you really like it and you're only doing a half an hour a day, make it 1 hour a day. If you're reading and you're reading for an hour a day and that's working for you and it's making you feel good, then read for 2 hours a day. Double down on it. If you're smoking cigarettes and you feel bad, your health is going down, or maybe you're complaining a lot and that's ruining some of your relationships, cut it out. It's a cancer. You don't need it. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you guys aren't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the button down below, hit the bell for post notifications, drop me a like, and drop me a comment. I always comment back, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Peace and love.